Then I want to turn this over then to the reports. We, you know, in honor of Rich being in the book tonight, we let him off on the student report. And Dr. Hogan is going to give a really quick run through on the accountability report and what he's going to talk about, career placement and our prospects. We're just going to go through that. But we want to then turn it over to Kevin Considine, who's here from Lake County Partners, to really talk about the partnership we're developing around the workforce ecosystem in Lake County. So, Sean.
Thank you. Tonight I want to talk to you about how the other end of what we started last week, bringing students in, to what happens with them on the other end after graduation. In particular, getting into the workforce. You know, the federal government is watching us closely, gainful employment, we have to report on these things. But now we have started more systematically collecting data from the Illinois Department of Employment Security. We're one of two college systems in the state to do that. City Colleges is the only one to use it on the kind of schedule or scale that we're using it on right now. What's important about this is, in this graph, we're looking at the job prospects through 2025 for folks who stop at the high school level. There will be job growth, but only about 6-7%. For students who graduate with the associates or the bachelors, their opportunities for career will be much higher, in the 10% job growth in the next few years. Here you see what happened with unemployment for folks who did not have the college degree. The green line is the county's unemployment rates from 2008 through 2014. The gray line with the squares is for folks who stopped at the high school and did not go beyond. The blue line is our residents in Lake County who had the associate's degree or certificate. You see that it peaked in 2010 and then precipitously dropped to the point where now folks with an associate's degree are more likely to be employed than unemployed in comparison to the rest of the county. So their economic prospects have improved, in fact, in the last couple of years. So for our graduates here coming out of the College of Lake County, the data are showing in the blue on the left is our students working in industry for the last three graduating classes. The graduating classes of 2010 and 11, 11 and 12, and 12 and 13 is the most recent data we have right now. And they're working about 60-65% of them in the first 3 months after completion are working in an occupation that is associated with what they studied here. The green bars on the right are after 1 year, and those numbers are getting up close to 70%.
And that's just Illinois, correct?
Yeah, and we need
Yes,
to
only
qualify
in the
that
state of
data
Illinois.
because to be in that pool, you have to be in the state of Illinois database. You can't be military, a couple other restrictions.
Right, agricultural,
so this kind of
self-employed.
gives you a sense of how it's higher when you.
And these are students overall, not only working in their industries. Their employment rates are a little bit higher. Within a year, about 80% are working. That's when we take out our students who transfer. So these are people that we would expect to find in the workforce. 80% of our graduates are working somewhere in the state of Illinois.
Do we have raw numbers on any of these?
I mean, yes, we have the raw
The
data.
percentages, how many students are we talking about? Because it is narrowly focused on those that are in the database, and so how many students are we talking about?
We'll graduate somewhere around 1,200, I want to say, each year. So,
Okay, so our beginning number is around 1,200.
So Sean, but you said you're exempting out of this group the transfer, the AA and the other
And
associate
military.
degrees that go on to four-year schools. So
Correct.
this is like our certificate programs.
by and large, they are in certificates. Some of them will be AA students.
So is that number still 1,200 then?
No, that's going to be down.
How much?
I can give you that number. I don't have
guess.
that off the top of my
I
head.
guess. Anybody? Okay.
Oh, I
I
think
would say
so.
it's probably 12. I'd say
Yeah,
it's 1,200
yeah,
because we're,
yeah.
well, you'd have to back out the AAs.
Although this would include both the, oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
this is the AASs and certificates. So this is anybody in a career program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So remember in the National Community College newsletter, it
Mhm.
said that we were up like
Yeah.
real high nationally in the employment rates of
certificates.
our certificate
Yeah.
students.
Yeah.
So,
We'll get you numbers on these too, so go ahead.
So this is their employment in Illinois overall, about 80% or so. Now, these are some of our leading occupations, largely in the allied health, law and justice, and office support. The blue lines are graduates finding employment within 1 year, and the green ones on the lower part are working in their industry within 1 year. And so all of these are above 60% working in their careers, some as high as 90%. Now, in terms of salaries, again, these are news for us. Graduates coming out in 2010 and 11 were just a little above $35,000 a year in earnings. That came down a little bit in 2012 and 13 to just above 30,000. We think that the data are telling us that the earlier graduating classes were a little bit older, probably a little more established in their careers, earning a credential so that they could continue in those occupations. The graduates in 2012 and 13 were a little bit younger, starting in their careers, just getting out for the first time into the workforce. Now, what our data are also telling us is where there's career opportunities. The 4 bars on the left in blue are programs that we have right now. These are going to be some of the fastest growing. I'm sorry, these are the ones, logistins, medical sonography, heating, air conditioning, and massage therapy. And on the right are occupations that we don't currently offer for LPNs, cell tower equipment repair, physical therapy assistants, and occupational therapy assistants.
And 3 of those 4, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and LPNs, are programs that we've reviewed recently. The last 2, physical therapy and occupational, are programs that we may likely start over the next year. We'll be looking at a little bit more data on those as well.
You're staying away from the cell tower?
Yeah, because we're not quite sure why that one.
Yeah,
Popped up.
yeah.
I thought for logistics, what's the first one, Sean?
Look,
Was that logistics?
logistins, yes.
What was
What is that? Logistics? Supply
that sort of thing.
supply chain stuff?
Yes.
So I have a question. Why are these 4 identified? I mean, you know, I'm thinking about technology, like I normally do. Why isn't technology a part of the last 4? Who is identifying these top 4, and why did they make the list?
These come to us through an economic modeling service that we subscribe to.
Okay.
They use data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and look at growth trends there. They look at growth trends from state agencies and where they're seeing hirings posted in newspapers.
Another reason too is these are middle skills jobs, right? These are what are called middle skills job. A lot of technologies fall in high skill, high tech.
Thank you.
Are these certificates that you're looking at?
A couple of the physical therapy assistant, occupational therapy, you would have both 2-year degrees and certificates associated with those.
30-hour credit?
Perhaps, we'll wait and
Yeah,
see.
well, LPNs.
LPN is a strange one. It's one the college used to offer many years ago, and then everybody went away from LPNs. We're starting to get an uptick, really, I'll say anecdotally, as Jerry and I go out and talk to various hospitals. You're hearing LPNs a little bit more, but you typically see them in assisted living. So we're monitoring that. I've asked our dean in that area to continue to kind of work with their career program advisory committee to see, are they seeing some of the same things, and should we recreate that LPN program?
Is that like CNAs now are taking over those jobs?
No, this is a little higher level than CNAs, the LPN role.
And, you know, I was told that just actually yesterday that in the assisted living facilities, the CNAs used to dispense medication, and now they, or, you know, supervise the dispensing, or they had a bigger role. And I think that has now changed, and LPNs are needed now to dispense the medications, and so maybe that's a reason for the uptake.
Well, both of these have reasons in changes in what's going on in the medical. The LPN, I think we were talking about that, is related to a lot of the assisted living. And the physical therapy assistant was the one that a lot of community, we probably have one here, a lot of community colleges had, and then they changed that, and now it's coming back again.
Yeah, we'd actually looked at starting physical therapy about 4 or 5 years ago,
Yeah.
but at that time, there were discussions within the field that they were looking at physical therapy becoming a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
So we backed away from it. We didn't want to start a program and then find out 2 years later you have to have a baccalaureate degree. But it looks like those discussions have died down. So in both of those, you know, one of the ways, and you're going to be approving later in the agenda, joint agreements. One of the ways that we can continue to monitor the need within the county is to look at, do we have students who may be going to another community college within the region for those programs? So we watch those numbers very closely, and physical therapy does pop up on that list as one of those.
Hey, can you clarify what the percentages mean? I see it's middle skill jobs in high demand, but what does the percentage mean? Is that the growth, or?
Yeah, growth after, you know, attrition through retirements, and that's the.
Is there a time frame?
These will be through 2024, yeah.
So, Sean, if I'm reading that right, does that mean in occupational therapy, they're expecting 25% increase in the number of openings through 2024?
Right.
Is that it? Okay. All right, one or two more slides, I think, and
Yep, so here's how we're using these data. We're one of the first in the states to use it, along with city colleges. The information we have will allow us to build better, stronger relationships with industries in Lake County, to align career pathways and internships with them, to promote and propose course offerings that may be of value to them, to continue playing a role with the workforce development in collaboration with the WIB. You know, Dr. O'Brien and Dr. Santos George are actively involved with that organization, to work more closely with Lake County partners to identify opportunities there, and to make informed decisions here at the college for program offerings.
okay, thank you.